stairs. He saw his mother and father all dressed up, his mother in a dress and his father in a suit. He thought, why would they wear such fancy clothes to a kid's party? Son, is that all you're going to wear? Suggests Mom. Better than wearing too much, he said. His mother pushed down the feeling to yell at him and hit it with a smile. Now, Jeff, we may be overdressed, but this is how you go if you want to make a good impression, said his father. Jeff grunted and went back up to his room. I don't have any fancy clothes, he yelled downstairs. Just pick out something, called his mother. He leapt up into his closet and found what he would call fancy. He found a pair of black dress pants he had for special occasions and an undershirt. He couldn't find a shirt to go with it, though. He looked around and found only striped and tattered shirts, none of which would go with dress pants. Finally, he found a white hoodie and put it on. You're wearing that? They both said. His mother looked at his watch. Oh, well, no time to change. Let's just go, she said as she herded Jeff and his father out the door. They crossed the street over to Barbara and Dolly's house. They knocked on the door, and there appeared Barbara, just like his parents, way overdressed. As they walked inside, all Jeff could see were adults, no kids. The kids are out in the yard, Jeff. How about you go and meet them, said Barbara. Jeff walked outside to a yard full of kids. They were running around in weird cowboy costumes and shooting each other with plastic guns. He might as well have been standing in Toys R Us. Suddenly a kid came up to him and handed him a toy gun and hat. Hey, wanna play? He said. Ah, no, kid. I'm way too old for this stuff. The kid looked at him with that weird puppy dog face. Please, said the kid. Fine, said Jeff. He put on the hat and started to pretend to shoot at the kids. At first he thought it was totally ridiculous, but then he started to actually have fun. It might have not been super cool, but it was the first time he had done something that took his mind off of Lou. But he played with the kids for a while until he heard a noise. A weird rolling noise. Then it hit him. Randy, Troy, Keith, all jumped over the fence on their skateboards. Jeff dropped the fake gun and gripped off the hat. Randy looked at Jeff with a burning hatred. Hello, Jeff, is it? He said. We have some unfinished business. Jeff saw his bruised nose. I think we were even. I beat the crap out of you, and you got my brother sent to JDC. Randy got an angry look in his eyes. Oh no, I don't go for even. I go for winning. You may have kicked our asses that one day, but not today. As they said that, Randy rushed at Jeff. They both fell to the ground. Randy punched Jeff in the nose, and Jeff grabbed him by the ears and headbutted him. Jeff pushed Randy off and both rose to their feet. Kids were screaming and parents were running out of the house, trying to keep both guns out of their pockets. Yeah, guns? No one interrupts our guts. Will fly, they said. Randy pulled a knife on Jeff and stabbed it into his shoulder. Jeff screamed and fell to his knees. Randy started kicking him in the face. After 3 kicks, Jeff grabs his foot and twists it, causing Randy to fall to the ground. Jeff stood up and walked towards the back door, and Troy grabbed him. Need some help? He picks Jeff up off by the back of the collar and throws him to the patio door. As Jeff tries to stand and kick down to the ground, Randy repeatedly starts kicking Jeff until he starts to cough up blood. Come on, Jeff, fight me. Picks Jeff up and throws him to the kitchen. Randy sees a bottle of vodka on the counter and smashes the glass over Jeff's head. Fight! He throws Jeff back into the living room. Come on, Jeff, look at me. Jeff glances up, his face riddled with blood. I was the one who got your brother sent to GDC. And now you're just gonna sit there and let him rot there for a whole year? You should be ashamed. Jeff starts to get up. Oh, finally, you stand and fight. Jeff can now have him on his feet, blood and vodka on his face. Once again, he gets that strange feeling, the one in which he can't help but feel. Finally, he's up, says Randy as he runs at Jeff. That's when it happens. Something inside Jeff snaps. His psyche is destroyed. All rational thinking is gone. All he can do is kill. He gets on top of Randy and punches him straight in the heart. The punch causes Randy's heart to stop. As Randy gasps for breath, Jeff hammers down on him. Punch after punch, blood gushes from Randy's body until he takes one final breath and dies. Everyone is looking at Jeff now. The parents, the crying kids, even trying Keith, although they easily break from their gaze and point their gun to Jeff. Jeff sees the gun straight on him and runs for the stairs. And he runs Troy and Keith let out fire each shot missing. Jeff runs up the stairs. He hears Troy and Keith follow up behind as they let out their final rounds of bullets. Jeff ducks into the bathroom. He grabs the towel rack and rips it off the wall. Troy and Keith's race in, knives ready. Troy swings his knife at Jeff and backs away and bangs the towel rack into Troy's face. Troy goes down hard, and now all that's left is Keith. He is more agile than Troy thought and ducks when Jeff strings the towel rack. He dropped the knife and grabbed Jeff by the neck. He pushed him into the wall. A thing of bleach fell down on top of him from the top shelf. It burnt both of them, and they both started to scream. Jeff wiped it off his eyes as best as he could. He pulled back the towel rack and swung it straight into Keith's head. As he lay there, bleeding to death, he let out an ominous smile. "What's so funny?" asked Jeff. Keith pulled out a lighter and switched on. "What's funny," he said, "is that you're covered in bleach and alcohol." Jeff's eyes widened as Keith threw the lighter at him. As soon as the flame made contact with him, the flames ignited the alcohol and the vodka. While the alcohol burned him, the bleach bleached his skin. Jeff let out a terrible screech as he called on fire. He tried to roll up the fire, but it was no use. The alcohol made him a walking inferno. He ran down the hall and fell down the stairs. Everybody started screaming as they saw Jeff, now a man on fire, drop to the ground nearly dead. The last thing Jeff saw was his mother and other parents trying to extinguish the flame. That's when he passed out. When Jeff awoke, he had a cast wrapped around his face. He couldn't see anything, he couldn't feel anything, but a cast on his shoulder and stitches all over his body. He tried to stand up, but he realized there was some tube in his arm. And when he tried to get up, it fell out and nerves rushed in. "I don't think you can get out of bed just yet," she said as she put him back on the bed and reinserted the tube. Jeff sat there with no vision, no idea what his surroundings were. Finally, after hours, he heard his mother. "Honey, are you okay?" she asked. Jeff couldn't answer, though. His face was covered and he was unable to speak. "Oh, honey, I have great news. After the witnesses told the police what Randy confessed and trying to attack me, they decided to let Lou go. They let her." That made Jeff almost bolt up, stopping halfway, remembering the tube coming out of his arm. He'll be out by tomorrow, and then you two will be able to be together again. Never mind the fact that Jeff just murdered someone, right? Jeff's mother hugs Jeff and says her goodbyes. The next couple of weeks were those where Jeff was visited by his family. Then came the day when his bandages would be removed. His family members were all there to see what he would look like. As the doctors unwrapped the bandages from Jeff's face, everyone was on the edge of their seats. They waited until the last bandage holding the cover over his face was almost removed. "Let's hope for the best," said the doctor. He quickly pulls the cloth, letting the rest fall from Jeff's face. Jeff's mother screams at the sight of his face. Lou and Jeff's dad stare awestruck at his face. What happened to my face?" Jeff said. He rushed out of the room and ran to the bathroom. He looked in the mirror and saw the cause of the distress. His face, it was horrible. His lips were burnt to a deep shade of red. His face was turned into a pure white color, and his hair singed from brown to black. He slowly put his hands to his face. It had a sort of leathery feel to it now. He looked back at his family and then stared at the mirror. "Jeff," said Lou, "it's not that bad." "Not that bad?" said Jeff. "It's perfect." His family was equally surprised but horrified. Jeff started laughing uncontrollably. His parents noticed that his left eye and hand were twitching. Jeff? Are you okay?" "Okay? I've never been more okay. I've never felt more happy. Ha 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 ha. Look at me. This face goes perfectly with me." He couldn't stop laughing. He stroked his face, feeling it, looking in the mirror. What caused this? Well, you may recall that Jeff was fighting Randy with something on his mind. His sanity snapped. Now that he was left as a crazy killing machine, his parents didn't know. "Doctor," said Jeff's mom, "is my son all right? In the head?" "Oh yes, this behavior is typical for patients that are taking very large amounts of painkillers." "Yes, doctor, it's the painkillers. If his behavior doesn't change in a few weeks, bring him back here and we'll give him a full psychological treatment." "Oh, thank you, doctor." Jeff's mother went over to Jeff. "Jeff, sweetie, it's time to go." Jeff looks away from the mirror, his face still formed into a crazy smile. "Hey, mommy. Ha 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 ha." His mother took him by the shoulder and took him to get his clothes. "This is what we came in," said the lady at the front desk. Jeff's mom looked down to see the black dress pants and white hoodie her son wore. Now they were clean of blood and now stitched together. Jeff's mother led him to his room and made him put his clothes on. Then they left, not knowing that this was their final day of life. Later that night, Jeff's mother woke to a sound coming from the bathroom. It sounded as if someone was crying. So she slowly walked over to see what it was. When she looked into the bathroom, she saw a horrendous sight. Jeff had taken a knife and carved a smile into his cheeks. "Jeff, what are you doing?" asked his horrified mother. Jeff looked up over to his mother. "I couldn't keep smiling, Mommy. It hurt after a while. Now I can smile forever." Jeff's mother noticed his eyes, tinged in black. "Jeff, your eyes!" His eyes were seemingly never closing. "I couldn't see my face. I got tired and my eyes started to close. I burned out the eyelids so I could forever see myself, my new face." Jeff's mother slowly started to back away, thinking that her son was going insane. "What's wrong, Mommy? Aren't I beautiful?" "Yes, son," she said. "Yes, you are. Let me go get Daddy so he can see your new face." She ran into the room and shook Jeff's dad from his sleep. "Honey, get the gun. She stopped as she saw Jeff in the doorway holding a knife. "Mommy, you lied." That's the last thing they hear. Jeff rushes out there with the knife, gutting both of them. His mother, his brother, Lou, woke up, startled by some noises. He didn't hear anything else, so he just shut his eyes and tried to go back to sleep. As he was on the border of slumber, he got the strangest feeling that someone was watching him. He looked up before Jeff's hand covered his mouth. He slowly raised the knife, ready to plunge it into Lou. Lou thrashed there and then trying to escape Jeff's grip. "Shh," Jeff said. "Just go to sleep." And that was the Jeff DeKellar Creepypasta. That was my first time actually reading the whole story, and it was definitely interesting. If you guys want to hear any more creepypastas, let me know down in the comments below. And I'll see you next time. Bye.